What's going on, guys? I appreciate those of you that were hanging out waiting for the stream to start. For those of you watching replay, though, make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so when we do these live chats, you can take part in them with us. So, it hasn't gotten a lot better, but I have gotten better at looking at the positives of, the great man that EJ was. Of course, I'm rocking another Happyland fragrance today. Today I went with El Gudo because, as you know, it's very gudo. Some of you popped for that just now because when I did the initial video on this, that was the first time I said that. Because even though it's not listed, I smell grapes, not just because it's a purple label. I smell grapes. I smell apple. It's that brandy smell. Smells like grape whiskey, basically, to me. Very woodsy, super boozy fragrance. A load of brandy here. I have literally, I spray like this, like these little spritzes because they're fire hoses. Man, because I got to say, if there's one atomizer that I've ever come across that can put out more than 3 a.m.'s atomizer, it's the ones, whatever these stock atomizers are that EJ uses. Talk about a real fire hose, but God, that's filling this area. It's so his fragrance is so strong. But wore man shit yesterday, wore El Gudo today, which we'll talk about those in a little bit. I'll give everybody a little bit of time to get on. We'll wait a few minutes. I see we got a bunch of people quick, fast, and in a hurry. If you don't mind, hit that thumbs up on your way in. So we got a lot of familiar names. Chad Secrets in the house. Great newer channel. Good to see you, Chad. Deciding which one first. So I wanted to let you guys know I do have the Happyland link pinned in the chat. With the code that EJ made for me, it's never been an affiliate code. I've never been a commissioned affiliate with Happyland. The only time I've ever made $1 from Happyland was when we did the limited run of man shit. I got a few bucks per bottle for that small run back in the very, very beginning of 2020. So I just want to make that very clear with everybody, because I've heard rumblings that there's people think that I'm being disrespectful, and I am not. The purpose of the extra attention right now is A, I'm deeply saddened by the loss of my friend, and B, this is always a tough time for a household. And I feel like with what I do on the internet, that the best thing I can do is get the word out to try to help, kind of steer a little support financially towards EJ's household with his wife, Susan, and everything during this hard time. Because again, I don't know their financial situation, but I'm sure everything can help. And in return, you'll get a great creation, even if you're just buying samples. So I encourage you, if you've never tried anything from Happyland and you've been on the fence, let now be a good time, because I don't know if the cause gets any greater with Happyland than right now, with the passing of the founder, the perfumer, and just a damn good guy. EJ Wells was a damn good guy. So I want to make that very clear here at the beginning of this stream. For anybody that's going to watch the replay, for anybody that's here live currently, just want to make sure you guys know that this, I don't make $1 from this. I love that man. And I really want to try to take as much of a burden off of his household as I can. There's only so much I can do, but I want to do what I can do. And that's why we're doing this tribute live stream here today. George is going to be popping in a little bit, because as far as I know, George Zaharoff is the only person in the community to ever really spend any time in person with EJ. And we've got some stuff we'll be sharing here in just a little bit. But he'll be jumping on in a little while. So let's get caught up on the chat and see who's wearing what and so on. Because we'll go to about 10 minutes before we start diving in, because I got a lot. This isn't going to be an hour-long stream. This is going to be a little bit longer. And we'll dive into this in a little bit, because I do have a couple unreleased things that we'll probably start with. So good to see you, Scott. Good to see you, Kevin. Happyland Signature Bamboo Harmony from Killian. Good to see you, Antonio. Decided Fahrenheit this evening. Wanted something with a kick. Well, you made a great choice. Didn't know EJ, but kind of felt like I did watching this channel over the years. But his entire repertoire, bought his entire repertoire, never regretted it. Wonderland, Diabolique, Guy-Lick Miss, our favorites. Rest in peace, indeed. Good afternoon, sir. Guess 1981 Los Angeles. Great cheapie. Hat of the day, a 950 snapback, two-tone neon green and lavender Rangers hat. I bet that's clean. I bet that is clean, because the exposure, maybe I need to image set. Oh, yeah. So gotta adjust everything. No wonder. Yeah, because I thought the pink looked a little washed out. That's too much. But the camera's not doing the justice for how bright of a pink this actually is. This is more of a highlighter pink. with the actual hat. The hat's a richer pink than my shirt is. Speaking of neon colored hats, image is kind of washed out a little bit better. Let me adjust some of these things real quick, guys. No, that's the opposite of what we want here. No, that's too white. There we go. Add a little bit of color. Yeah, that's a good enough image. Still, the pink's not as good as it is realistically, but hey, close enough. Dan, not the man, one of the best names on YouTube. Wearing Born in Roma Intense. Unaverage Joe's in the house. Wearing Plum Loco from Happyland Studio. Excellent choice. Phantom Parfum for Josh with a vomit emoji. If it gets you to where you're going to put that emoji, why don't you just wash it off? If it's that bad. Ever try 8 and Bob Fragrances? Big fan of Agneta, one of their releases from last year. That is a phenomenal oud amber cardamom fragrance. It's beautiful. Salute good people. Next level. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ross Signature is my sin of the day. Are we talking Happyland Signature? The famed tobacco fragrance, which I believe was EJ's first fragrance. I believe. Kevin Hill's in the house wearing Signature Gold. Speaking of, one of the flankers to Signature. Well, the flanker. Well, one of the unreleased ones kind of smells in the realm of it, but not really. We'll talk about it in a minute. Ethan's in the house wearing Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Don't know anything from Happyland, but might have to discover some soon. Shameless. I almost wore that today. But I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I want to wear something off the beaten path from EJ. So that's why I went with El Gudo, because it's a polarizing one. Some people just rave about it like I do. And some people are like, oh, it smells like a meth. I've heard it smells like a meth head, smells like a bar room. I've heard a bunch of different things. So it's a very polarizing one that I really enjoy. So that's why I felt it was best to go with one of the more polarizing releases with El Gudo. Wearing Wonderland for Jamie. CR7 Game On, featured in today's video. Good choice. Juan, good to see you. Juan Ochoa, hope everyone's doing well. So MFK Gentle Fluidity Silver, smelling elegant today. Time to get some Happyland fragrances for the upcoming fall and winter seasons. That is when the majority of the releases are built to be worn. EJ typically didn't do too many freshies. That's why I was floored when he put out Shameless. I was so giddy about that. And then Haymaker really surprised me. That's the two true, about as fresh as they get. Guy like this, there's some other stuff that's fresher from him, but the closest we've ever gotten to freshies, and sadly we'll ever get, is Haymaker and Shameless. Good ones, though. Damn good ones. Psychedelic Love is a beast. So I've heard. I've never smelled it. Diabolique, beautiful spicy fragrance from EJ. That's one of my favorites. We're going to be talking about that one today. 8 and Bob, Cap d'Antibes. That's one of the more popular ones. Re-upped on Om for the holidays, decaf. Okay, so we're talking about that one today. Both versions of Om for the holidays are personal favorites of mine. We're going to be talking about those. Taif Al Emirat Qatar. Bleecker Street today. Good to see you, Tyler. Let's see. I own Barbershop from Authenticity Perfumes. I want to try Barbershop from Happyland. No, not at all. So Barbershop from Happyland is all about orange and leather. Totally different type of barbershop fragrance. Where Barbershop from Authenticity is shave foam and aftershave. This is all about this beautiful bitter orange and rich leather. Yeah. Still barbershop style, but different takes. They're not redundant. Definitely not. Absolutely not, actually. Running around with the baby, I haven't had a chance. Rest in peace, CJ. What's good, fam? Already put on Sin of the Day yesterday before hearing the news, so I put on Shameless today by Happyland. It's good to see you guys pulling out your Happyland fragrances. Happyland Signature for Sean. ATH Hard Candy. Joe, a very, very, very close friend of EJ Wells, is here on the job site, sweating, but smelling great because of Happyland Signature. I hope you're doing well, Joe. It's great to see you, my man. Don't get in trouble at work, which I doubt you'd be here if you were risking getting in trouble, but I know you're smelling good, damn it. I know you're smelling good. Glad to see you, my man. Afternoon, Ross and Frag fam. Body Al Oud Amethyst. Beautiful, rich rose. Zafiro from Zerzov. Never tried that one. Cryptic Figure. Good to see you. Puffy Pigs in the house. Random guy on the internet here. That's hilarious. Center of the Day, Boss Descent. Absolute. You are smelling great, sir. Labola Parfum. Speaking of smelling great. So we're at the 10-minute mark. We'll go ahead and jump into this. We're almost caught up on the chat. Let me scroll down just a little bit more and we'll jump into this first one. Lone Star Vol wearing Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette. Hard to go wrong. Pulled out man shit today. And tomorrow will be Signature Gold. Rest in peace, EJ. You'll be missed greatly. And Ross, sorry for your loss. I know you guys were close. Yeah. It's now I know why I didn't hear from him all of August, because he was in that care facility because he couldn't stay at home because of the pain he was in and he wasn't able to walk. It's crazy because I literally talked to him apparently within a week before he went there, because the last time I had talked to him was July 27th, and then when the 10th rolled around was the next time I heard from him, because he'll just randomly, you know, shame on me, I didn't hear from him for a month, and I didn't think nothing of it, being in my own little world, and didn't message him. And man, hindsight's 2020. I'm just glad I got to talk to him, you know, pretty, you know, recently. So it's, I mean, literally a week ago. May he rest in peace. What a great man. Aventus Cologne. It's great fragrance. Rest in peace. EJ never misses. Haven't picked anything up from Happyland, but plan on picking up a few. Afternoon wearing Hinterland. Underrated from the house. He doesn't put out anything that's bad. It's all at least very good stuff. Like, there was never a bias because he's my friend on the ratings I would give. It's if anybody that's spent time with at least a few, let's say a handful of his fragrances, because I got about half of them here and there's like 20 fragrances here. So he's got a lot from the house, and they were always at least very good. You know, it's hard to pick something. Now, if something's not your style, it's just not your style, but it doesn't make it a bad fragrance. It's just not your cup of tea or your taste, as the sayings go. But yeah, he always put out good stuff, man. Intense to Drapoise, excellent choice, Adolfo. 1821 man made, good stuff. Salute Ross in chat wearing Kismet Angel. Takes confident man to pull off that outfit, you damn right. And I'm here for it. Never copped anything from Happyland, but feel compelled now. Rest in peace, EJ. Ross thinks I'm an alcoholic, y'all. Well, now I know which profile this is. I have Green Irish tobacco from EJ. I love it. Rest well, EJ. Condolences again for your loss, Ross. So he lives in New Orleans, and he takes personal offense to me saying the alcoholism that is New Orleans when I talk about New Orleans jazz and blues from City Rhythm. I'm just busting his balls. He doesn't take actual offense. We had a conversation yesterday. Glad you were able to make it, my man. Kyler's in the house. 7. I haven't worn that one. It's been years since I've worn that one. As a sin of the day, excellent choice. Alexandria, work hard, stay humble. Hell yeah. All right. So with that said, I mean, we might as well touch on the 2 that I've worn the last 2 days. So Man Shit is still on the market as Homeland Extreme. So it's basically Creed Bois de Portugal plus a heavy smoke accord. Now, the smoke accord is very robust at the top, but it does calm down. But performance and sillage are ridiculous. I mean, at the like 10, 11 hour mark when I took a shower yesterday, it was still pumping. And I mean, the second the water hit my neck, you'd swear I just sprayed this thing. Crazy strong. About 3 hours in, my wife had to put a crack in the window because she's like, ooh, that stuff is screaming off you. She said it doesn't smell bad. It's just too much. And guys, I mean, I literally, like I showed you earlier, I do these little pissant spritz. I did 4 like that around the neck, and which would equate to about a whole spray from these crazy strong atomizers. So this isn't for everybody. That's why he called it Man Shit from the start. It's what he thought of me. It's a masculine fragrance. It's loud. It's in your face. And it's very abrasive in the opening because it's such a thick, like almost ashtray-like smoke accord, you know, and such an honor. They like to describe it that way. That makes me feel really good that that's what he thought about me, honestly. Such a wonderful human. But if you ever wanted to try this one, it's Homeland Extreme is actually moving forward, because I didn't want it to be just a long-term thing with, you know, TLTG on one of his labels. So we just did, you know, several hundred bottles, and we left it at that. That was what we worked out, because he was just going to do it long term, and I'm like, no, let's not. Let's do it. Let's do a beginning and an end kind of thing. I think that's best for everyone involved, me, you, and the consumers and audience members and all that good stuff. So, but it was crazy to think, because I gave it some more thought, because it was around January of 2020. We'd already started working on Zed Creators, but nothing was public yet because we were still working on the scent profiles and stuff like that. So it was really nice that he wanted to do that with me. And then with El Gudo, like I said a minute ago, this is grape whiskey is what it smells like to me. The way the brandy comes across, it's brandy and fruits, and that fruits accord that's in here, it smells like grapes and apples. Very polarizing scent. It's very woodsy. There's a lot of woody notes in here, but yeah, I've always related to the barroom thing that I've heard about this one that people have said. I totally get where they're coming from, but I think it's best that, so here's an unreleased one that never saw the light of day. Let's go with this. Let's start with something unreleased, because that's why some of you are here. This is called Happyland Private Shocking Gold. It's a pure oil, So I have a few that are pure oil, no perfumer's alcohol, because EJ's a madman. You'll see as we go through some of these that the mad scientist thing. But this, I sprayed it on my hand last night. It might still be there. Faint, but it's there. This is very oud leather heavy without rose. It's animalistic. It's resinous. It's very rough and tumble. It's super masculine. And it just goes and goes and goes. Like I took a shower after I had sprayed it. I've washed my hands a few times since, and it's still faint. I just a little dab of it. I literally took the atomizer off and dabbed it on my hand. I didn't even atomize it because it's pure oil. What's the point? It's not like I was doing a full wearing. It was just a sniff on it because it's been so long since I've sprayed. I mean, I've sprayed it randomly over the years. One of the reasons you never see me say anything, I'm sure everybody didn't know this existed, is because unless he tells me to share it with people, I'm not going to share. I'm out of respect. I'm not going to share it with people. But he gave this to me. This was probably back in 2020, late 2020, maybe. I want to say mid to late 2020. Because he's always working on crazy ideas. But yeah, I wish this would have seen the light of day, because those of you like the more resinous, animalistic fragrances, but still a lot of it's got heavy benzoin in it. So it's ambery, but it still has kind of that aromatic quality that benzoin can bring to go with a heavy leather. And not not a funky leather or cord or anything like that. Like very enjoyable. If you like leather fragrances, you would love this. With a lot of oud. The typical oud that EJ used across all of his fragrances. If you've ever smelled oud in any one of his fragrances, just kind of crank it up a little bit. Not overwhelming, but very, very prevalent. And it's crazy strong. It's not cut with any perfumer's alcohol. But yeah, I got that little clear tape. Shocking Gold, Happyland Private, because this is something he was planning down the road, was a private blend line. So this was, like I said, mid to either second quarter, third quarter, somewhere around there of 2020 was when he introduced this to me. It sent me a bunch of decants, like my bottle of Figman from Carner Barcelona, my bottle of Bentley Vetiver. EJ gave me those because they just weren't for him, so he sent them to me. I've got a plethora of all the Parfums de Marly's that I've tried that I don't have bottles of. EJ sent me decants. Like there's a lot of stuff that has never been public knowledge, that EJ just loved fragrance and loved to share his love of fragrance. I would say, from a niche standpoint, like the kerosene fragrances I've tried, stuff like from a niche standpoint, I would say at least 50 or 60 fragrances that I have been able to experience and spend time with are because of EJ Wells, not counting his own creations, just random stuff he'd decant his bottles and send to me. Mancera Amber Fever comes to mind. I still have that decant. That 30 ml of Latent Exclusive you guys see me talk about from time to time, that's from EJ. I have, used to be 30 ml. I have 20 ml left now of Latent Exclusive because EJ just get excited. You need to try this. I need to send it to me. So just one of one. So we'll do another unreleased one real quick. So he dubbed this EJ's Frankincense. Even wrote my name on it. So again, another pure oil. This is a combination of I couldn't even tell you. It's so busy. God, it's so busy. It's super woody, very smoky, ambery. There's citruses. There's so much going on. I've only sprayed it 5 times maybe. But again, it's a pure oil, and that's why he named it Frankincense. He just mixed a bunch of leftover oils from a variety of his fragrances and just kind of threw it together. Now, this is not necessarily anything that was ever going to go to market, but I don't know if any of his other friends have a bottle of this because mine has number 2 on it. At the time, he told me it was just me and him, but I mean, you never know. Joe, Dry Down, Low Down, Joe NYC Fragrances, Scott 504 Man Reviews, all very close to him. They very well could have a bottle like this too. I don't know. They'll chime in at some point, I'm sure, whether they see this or on their own outlets or whatever. But at the time, I was the second bottle. So the first bottle was his. I guess he had enough to make a certain amount, and not something that excites me to be worn because it's just kind of all over the place. It's like a mess of a fragrance. But it's just interesting he's like, let me throw them together and see what happens. And he kind of liked the way it came out. And it's not bad. It's not unwearable. It's a little busy, and it just never really struck me as something I want to just reach for and wear. So that's 2 right away that are unreleased. Let me get caught up on this chat a little bit, because I know I'm getting behind pretty quickly. So I might have to skip ahead just a little bit. Volcanus, the king of the super chat, has arrived. $25 super chat. I appreciate the donation to the channel. Rest in peace, EJ. Condolences, brother. Salute Ross in chat. Wearing Enigma by Roger Parfums. Guys, don't feel like y'all need to super chat or anything like that. I don't want this to come across like I'm trying to make money off EJ. I'm not. I appreciate that, but please, guys, hold your super chats for this particular stream. I don't need them. Had I known you always make your presence known with the super chat. So it's not like I could have stopped you. I appreciate the consistent love and support for the channel, but anybody else watching, please, I love the donations. I love when you guys want to help support the channel, but let's do that on another stream. This particular stream, I'd rather not. I want to make this about the man. I don't want anybody to think I'm just trying to make a bunch of money. This stream's monetized. That's more than enough. I don't need the super chats, but Volcanus, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. Was never a huge fan of Happyland, with the exception of Garlic Mist. I always felt like I was in a forest listening to a distant waterfalls and everything bright green. Beautiful scent. Well, we could actually talk about that one real quick if you'd like. Let me find it. I have it in here. Pretty sure I do. There it is. Garlic Mist. We'll talk about that one next, Beach Life, while we're at it. So Garlic Mist. As he was saying, I'll keep your comment pinned. So very bright, fresh green. Green notes, minty, oak moss, has a spice to it, but still super fresh. This is one that you could kind of consider a freshie from EJ, even a little smoked, like a lot of oak moss here. A lot of the green is oak moss, but there's a green notes accord that kind of freshen this thing up. There's a little bit of citrus, but I've always gotten an earthy smokiness to this one, even spraying it out in the air. This is a very masculine green fragrance that still manages to be fresh, and it doesn't rely solely on citruses for it. This is a great daily wear for somebody that doesn't like the modern stuff. If you don't like all the blues and the synthetics of designers and stuff like that, this is probably something you could get down with. It's not the freshest thing for the summer, but you could pull it off. You can get away with it if you're not dousing yourself in it, because it is a beast. You don't need a lot of sprays. Everything he has is a strong. I think not one fragrance is under 30% oil. So keep that in mind. If you ever try anything from Happyland and you haven't before, you don't need a lot of sprays, and the sprays are ridiculously big. But yeah, this one, I could see why you're a fan of it. I picked a lot of my favorites to discuss, or ones that I felt were great talking points because of the artistry behind them. But Garlic Mist for me as well is definitely a personal favorite. And then we'll hold those 2 unreleased ones for a minute from now. But one that, speaking of Dry Down Lowdown, so I don't know if Joe's still watching, but he likes to give me credit for the reason he's in this community in the first place, because I'm the first fragrance video he ever stumbled across. And that video was the review for Paisley Sky. So when I reviewed it, Paisley Sky wasn't even out yet. That's why I have this handwritten label from EJ that says Paisley Sky. This is actually the bottle I've worn more. I have sprayed the 15, because he always fills them to the brim. When you get a bottle, it's up in the neck, like it's completely full of juice. So that's actually a dent in the bottle, believe it or not. It's not like typical designers where they have, 80% volume or something. No, he fills them to leave just enough room for the volume to change from the stem of the atomizer going in there to where it doesn't overfill. He gave you your money's worth. He absolutely did. So this is kind of a combination of kind of hypnotic poison meets oud for greatness. This is a beautiful fragrance. This is one of his best. It does lean a little feminine. It's got that sweetness, that BR 540 type of burnt sugar feel, a little bit of oud for greatness without being exactly like one. I'm very much inspired by those fragrances and kind of blended in his own way. Like I said, hypnotic poison meets oud for greatness is basically what you can expect here. And this is also, these 2 bottles, mainly this bottle, is anybody that likes the troll Dry Down Lowdown, you can blame this bottle and this face for him being in this community. So shout outs to Joe. Let me put this to the side. And then let's go with one that's a bit more challenging. I want to do those together. Let's go with another oddball one, shall we? Blue Fire. Nobody talks about Blue Fire, right? So Blue Fire has this mate note, iris, strawberry. It's weird. It's another weird, off the beaten path fragrance from EJ that I've always liked. And this is one of his first like 7 or 8 fragrances, maybe even first 10. Very unisex, as you can see by the way the label is. Not all that much of a blue fragrance like the name and the color would indicate, but it's got mass appeal, but it's a strange blue fragrance would be the way to describe it. It has a freshness. Obviously, it has that light fruity tone from the strawberry note that he put in here. And I know a lot of fragrances that have strawberry, typically women's fragrances, nothing feminine about this, guys. It clearly, I would say unisex leaning very masculine. Like I'm sure there's some women out there that would enjoy this, but it would be women that like to wear more masculine leaning fragrances. But that's the main things that stand out to me. There is an iris note that's more on the earthy side, not this makeup bag, powdery type of iris. A little bit of like a fresh strawberry, like biting into a strawberry with this tea note, this mate, herbal, bitter tea smell. There's other notes here, but that's the main things that stand out to me. It's a very, like I said, oddball fragrance that never really got any love. I've given it some love over the years, not a ton, but there's been times when I go back to it like, damn, I forget how good this one is. But that's what I like about it. You guys hear me say these strange fragrances. That's the ones that just, I don't know, they're just fun for me to wear because I know I don't smell like anyone else. And this is one of those. Happyland Blue Fire. Artistry. Whoop, dropped it. Artistry from EJ. That is clear artistry. So let me get back to the comments a little bit and then we'll dive into some more. So that's the thing. You never knew if you were going to get a black bottle or a clear bottle. It was just whatever he had in stock at the time. There was no method to that. It was literally, you never know what you're going to get. Like Shadowland. My Shadowland's in a black bottle, which is not here. It's not one of my favorites because I don't like the opening. Dry Down's beautiful, but I don't like the opening. I never got hip to the opening. If you watch my first impressions, I was kind of, and then as it dries, like, oh, okay. Sometimes I got to get captivated by the opening too. I can't just wait for the Dry Down. But point being, there's a bunch of people that got those in a clear bottle too. I got it in black. And then there's others that got it in black. My bottle of 7 is black and a bunch of people have it in clear. Green Irish Tobacco. So that's my point. You never knew what you were going to get. It depended on what he had in stock at the time. Rest in peace, EJ. Aqua de Joe Absolute. Excellent choice, Spencer. Good to see you. Rest in peace, EJ from JT. Excited to try the whole line. So Spencer bought the Happyland sample pack last night. He sent me an email. I did see your email. Sorry I didn't reply. I've been getting messages out the wazoo, as you can imagine, Spencer. But I hope you enjoy at least. You'll enjoy at least some of them for sure. Not everything's for everyone, but El Gudo. Excellent choice. That is what I'm wearing today as well, sir. I'll just keep my scent of the day up close, I guess. Keep it right here. I'm wearing El Gudo today as well. Some of them are. Yeah, it's not. Like he makes fragrances that he likes made. I hate having to use past tense when I talk about EJ. It's an adjustment, you know. Give me a second. So he makes fragrances that really speak to him. He likes gourmands. He likes heavy resinous stuff. He likes dense greens. That was always his thing. So you'll notice that along the house offerings, there's a lot of that throughout the majority. It's kind of the signature. You can tie a lot of his stuff together with kind of shared base notes sometimes because he had a particular style he likes. Now, mature, not necessarily old man, but like I was saying a minute ago, not about Guy Like Mist, none of this playful, modern, synthetic stuff that, you know, teenagers and early 20s are going to want to reach for. I'm not saying there's not anything they won't enjoy from the house, but there's a lot of the fragrances are built for grown men. You know, guys that have a matured taste is probably the best way I could put that. I only have decants of his fragrances, and Homeland is one of the most amazing ever. So the only difference really between Homeland and Homeland Extreme is that heavy smoke accord I was talking about. So if you have Homeland, you don't really need Homeland Extreme unless you just want to see what that smoke accord's about. And vice versa, because Homeland Extreme dries into Homeland. That's literally the only difference. DDLD is a good dude. I love Joe. That's why I'm just giving him a hard time. Scott, good to see you, my man. Guy Like Mist, smoke right up my alley. So The smokiness is based off of the oak moss that he used. The oak moss he typically uses has a smokiness to it, the particular oak moss oil that he has. I don't know how natural it is or if it's a synthetic. I would assume it's a more synthetic oak moss. But the particular one he uses most of the time, like if you get a smokiness from his fragrance and you don't see anything else that's smoky, but it's got oak moss, it's that oil. It's that particular oil. He does have incenses and stuff like that that he likes to use. But if you don't see that in the note listing, but you still get smokiness and there's oak moss, it's that oil. Happyland's signature. But I had to spray Paisley Sky since you mentioned it. I don't reach for it often, but man, it's the same. It's still one of my favorites that I just don't reach for. I just don't really reach for it. Hell yeah, I mentioned this story in my tribute. It's still one of my favorites. So did you talking about the IG post? Because I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing. Because I'm assuming you're going to make a video. No pressure. I don't want anybody to think because I'm saying it publicly that he has to make a video. He's a grown man. He can do what he wants. But you're just so good at what you do. If you make a video, it's going to be incredible. So again, no pressure. I know it's coming across as some, but I would love to see it because I know you were so close to EJ. You're just as close to EJ as I was. So I would love to see you come up with something, no matter how long it takes, Joe. Because yeah, it just, man, getting a little choked up. Give me a second. So, man, I hope you're having a great day, Joe. I'm glad you were able to make it for the live stream. You know, what's going on here, buddy? So, paying tribute to a great man that passed away yesterday. Talking about some of my favorites. Hi, people. Hi, Ross. Omar, good to see you. Please forgive me, but did you know a fellow YouTuber, Joy Amin, is in the hospital? Really? I did not know that. Joy has his ups and downs with his health. I'm going to have to reach out to him and see if I can get a hold of him. Yes, absolutely prayers for Joy. Joy is a wonderful, wonderful person. Wonderful person. I love Joy Amin. Black bottles are dope. Need to try Happyland. Going to miss getting those personalized postcards. The man with every order. Another touch that made Happyland even more unique. Late but here. Glad you're able to make it. So that's tough. I've been getting asked that a lot since yesterday. And the main advice I can give is read some note breakdowns on the website and see what grabs you. What sounds good to you? That's the best thing I can, because there's just so many. Because just because I like certain ones doesn't mean you will. Like same thing with El Gudo. This is one of the more polarizing ones from him that I love. It's one of my top 5 from the house. That's why I'm wearing it. I mean, the first 2 that came to mind is, of course, the day he passed, I needed to wear the one he made for me. That there was no other choice. I had to wear that. I just would have felt wrong if I didn't. And then the very next day, I'm wearing this because it's a strange one from him that I just adore. But you may hate this fragrance. I've heard smells like a meth head, smells like a bar room. I've heard all these things from people. It smells like grape whiskey to me, brandy and fruits. It's beautiful to me. So I would say read some note breakdowns. You can always buy samples. They sell decants. They sell the sample pack of the whole house, which is pricey, but it's like 40 fragrances of decants. So I would say maybe try some samples because it's not like it's a rush where you got to like buy something this week because his partner, Rick Neese, they're still running the operation. They have the formulas. They have batches made. So it's not like a rush, hurry thing, you know. Barbershop is a great unapologetic leather. Yes, indeed, Duncan. I don't know if you were here when I mentioned Barbershop earlier. That's what's different about it. It's bitter orange and a robust leather. I love Barbershop. We're going to be talking, hell, we might as well talk about Barbershop now. Great segue opportunity. Thank you, Duncan. So Barbershop, what's different about Happyland's Barbershop? I have 2 solids. I have the Strike Gold collaboration shave soap and aftershave splash, the first go round from a few years ago, and the newest rendition from 2020, early 2022, I believe. Shout outs to Frank. Talked to Frank yesterday of Strike Gold Shave. This is bitter orange and leather. Yeah, there's other things going on, but that's what you're going to get from this. This is a super, super manly type of barbershop is typically a masculine style anyways, aromatic fougères, but this is extremely leather forward. The most leather forward barbershop style fragrance I have. And it's crazy powerful. Crazy powerful. This was kind of his first hype beast because this is one of his like original 5. This is the one that warranted if you're going to do shave products, you need to do it with Barbershop. And it translated so well into aftershave splash and Strike Gold Shave's base for the shave soap. which I don't think Frank's got any in stock. I know if the Happyland site has any. This has been a while. They've probably been sold out. It was just a small batch thing that they did twice. But the fragrance, man, the fragrance. Like I said, bitter orange, robust, and like Duncan says, unapologetic leather. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I mean, you guys give me the segues and I'll run with it. Why the hell not? This is interactive. It's a live chat. Thanks for helping me with Zaharoff discount code. Much appreciated. My pleasure, my man. I'm glad we were able to figure that out too, because it wasn't easy to get a hold of George. He was overseas. Big time difference. John Southern. Why the sad face? Let me scroll up. What's with the sad face? Why the babin? Some of you are like, what the hell is that? And somebody from Louisiana went, oh shit, he said babin. I don't see anything. So I don't know what you're pouting. I don't know. Happy to see more from Happyland. Sin of the day, CK1 Shock. Excellent choice. Afternoon. Good to see you, Mac. What's Joy's ailment? I wish him a speedy recovery. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to reach out to him. I haven't talked to him in close to 2 months. It's been a little while since we've talked. We talk here and there. You know, it's not like we talk all the time, but very friendly with Joy. I really, really appreciate Joy. I need to reach out. I didn't know his health was to that point. Condolences for loss of your friend. Thank you, Mac. We took a big loss. Not just me. We took a big loss. EJ was such a good man. Such a good man. Birth of Venus. Sin of the night will be Green Irish Tobacco. So those of you that didn't know about Green Irish Tobacco, we'll segue. Why the hell not? Green Irish Tobacco is Green Irish Tweed meets Tobacco Vanille. See, he gets inspired by certain things. And it's kind of a hybrid of that. So if you like anything about those, you will like this. This is, again, one of his first 10. If you're looking for a versatile everyday office wear, Green Irish Tobacco is your scent. It has the best of both worlds. The green spices and freshness appeal of Green Irish Tweed from Creed with that additional spice, aromatic earthiness with some sweetness. Not too much, though. Not too much vanilla. Of Tobacco Vanille. You don't really get that much vanilla out of this one. You get more of the tobacco from Tobacco Vanille and the spices and the aromatics and stuff like that. Again, another one, powerful. You don't need a lot of sprays. This is a really good one from EJ as well. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest that would like to share a few words. A dear friend of EJ Wells. We have Mr. George Zaharoff.
Hi, everybody.
How are you, Georgie?
Good. How are you?
Uh-oh. Guys, can y'all hear him? Because I can't. I'm getting no audio. It's the same problem I had with Christian.
Nothing?
I have no audio. It's weird.
I'll try again.
StreamYard's been messing up for me lately. It's on my end, I'm pretty sure. Because this is the same thing I went through with Christian the other day, guys. Well, I don't know what the deal is. Scroll down real quick. Y'all can hear George? Okay. At least y'all could hear him. I can't hear anything. So, George, they could hear you. It's on my end. Something's up with my end that it's not allowing me to hear you. I don't know what the deal is. So, but they could hear you. They gave me the feedback. So, how are you doing, Georgie? This sucks. This is the same problem I had with Christian, where I couldn't get any audio, and we ended up with an echo.
Can you hear me?
Weird.
Ross, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Sorry, guys.
How about now?
I know y'all, as long as y'all can hear him, you know.
All right. So you know what, guys?
Because I know the stories that you're going to share.
So do me a favor. Tell him. tell Ross to send me a new link, and maybe that'll help.
So if I turn YouTube on, I can hear you through YouTube.
Okay, that'll work. Can you hear me now?
Do y'all hear an echo? George, are you hearing an echo? Damn it.
Hi, everybody in the room. Oh, Ross.
How am I going to do this? Oh, I can put my headphones on and listen through YouTube, and then there won't be an echo. That's what we're going to do. Problem solved.
So while Ross,
but I do need to get this figured out one day. I've been trying. It's weird.
Ross is figuring that out. Well, wait. We'll get some music. There's gonna be a delay though with Ross. Hi everybody.
There we go.
Around the world in a month, like literally, I've crisscrossed like 3 times the globe this past month. Can you hear me now? There's gonna be a delay.
I can hear you, but I have to be patient for the delay. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
I'm wondering if Ross, do you want to send me the link again and see maybe if this happened with Christian? How did it rectify itself with Christian? What happened?
It's my end.
It is.
It didn't. I ended up switching browsers, and I had an echo to deal with. That was because of the phone being on. I don't know. They did some kind of update that has affected it with me. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so let's do this. I know I'm wearing Haymaker. These are my three favorite Happyland fragrances was Haymaker. This new one, I love this one. Sundown.
Sundown. So would you like to tell them about the interesting epiphany that you had when it came to this one? This is his newest release, guys. This is the last fragrance to come out.
I just thought it was interesting. I still can't believe it. So EJ and I, we were close, as was Ross. He called me 3 weeks ago. I had just come back from, I had a week in between my travels, and I was on the treadmill, and he called me up, and he told me that he was in a rehab facility, and that his wife was a saint for helping him. I asked him, I said, what's the prognosis? Like, what does it look like? Are you going to get better? And he goes, that's the idea, is what he said. But he sounded so good. His voice was always very strong. And I know there's an echo with Ross, so I'll just talk right through. But I know Ross and I, we've said this discussion. And then Ross called me and said, you know what, I don't feel something's up with EJ. And I said, maybe I should send him some flowers. And so I left on my trip.
Yeah, I had a bad feeling.
And I was in Rome, and I'm getting all these messages saying, I'm sorry for your loss. And I'm like, what the heck? Who passed away? And it was EJ. And I'm like, I just, so I flew home. I flew home on my way here. I have my suitcase, everything open, but I wanted to just come on. And I know that you were talking about EJ and his fragrances. And I think I'm the only one, unless someone can correct me. Am I the only one that has met him? In person?
I think so. As far as I know.
So I was driving.
He was very private. He had his inner circle, but I think you're the only person to physically hang out with him in person.
And on my way back, I drove from the first Scent Explorer, and I stopped. I spent the night in Toledo, and then I went over. I'm thinking maybe I should drive out to the wake. I don't know if I should. If I'm imposing on his family, I don't know. So he took me to. We went and had lunch.
I don't necessarily think it would be taken that way.
I tried to go on to see what the wake of the funeral looks like. I didn't see anything. It wasn't posted yet. So anyway, we had lunch. He took me to his house. I went and saw. He had this entire area, and I looked at it and had all these beakers and all of the mixing, the oils. He had all of the alcohol, and I told him, I go, he reminded me of the Muppets, the Mad Scientist. And I go, you're like the mad scientist of the fragrances, you know. And so I mean, he was just an incredible human being. He really was. And I know there's a group of
that's who he was.
Yeah.
Such a loyal, kind soul.
He never talked about anybody. Like I vent. I have a couple.
So I was trying to get into the iCloud link. No.
It's okay. It's okay. I vent. I call people up and I vent. You know, I release it out into.
It won't let me. I tried.
It's okay. He has never said an unkind word about anybody. And you know, I know people talk. I mean, you have these people with you have these diehard fragrance lovers that don't consider anything other than the big storied brands as, you know, not important, but all the different levels that you have of artistry when it comes to fragrances. If you look at the Happyland collection, and Ross has those up on the screen. I'm turning to this side because I have a big screen. I'm reading all the comments, even though I've lost the comments. They're not coming anymore. You see, I have you on big screen with my luggage and my hair, my clothes. They're there. So all my suitcase. So anyway,
yeah.
And so, and if you look at it, like he had his own. He had carved out his own special place, like his music. And he had talked to me when the 2 weeks we spoke. He goes, I want to get my music up and running. I have the money set aside to do a studio. Like he was planning on going back into music. George, I'm feeling so inspired. So this was a big surprise. I'll shut up now. This was a big surprise. I don't think he expected it. Jesus, I can't believe it. He was such a good soul. So there's a famous picture. I shouldn't say famous, sorry, but there's a picture of me and him holding.
Well, part of me feels like he may have had a feeling because he was reaching out to everyone. But at the same time, every time something was going on, he would reach out to everybody he was close to and keep everybody on the same page. So I'm very torn on what that actually meant.
I'm bummed.
You know what I mean?
I know. Do you have so we were
same.
We were doing a video with down in Texas.
See, so I was trying to get into iCloud a minute ago and it wasn't letting me. Because you sent it to me on my phone, so I wouldn't be able to do anything on the computer with it. So I tried to share it to Instagram, and it creates a broken link.
It's okay. We're doing this. It's working.
I mean, I could do it on my phone and just hold my phone up to the screen.
It's okay. Can you see me? You could hear me, right, with your headphones?
Yeah.
Oh, you tried to download it.
Yeah, there's just like a 2-second delay. That's why I have long pauses, because I hear you out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we were doing a video. Look what John said it right. John said, like, I was driving and I go, Ross, his last fragrance is called Sundown. How appropriate for his, for his collection. And so I drove out there and I wanted to do a video. We thought of doing a series with Fragrance Fanatic. And where, I am smuggling fragrances, just a fun story for the fragrance community. And one of them was me driving an EJ and him coming into the car and me giving him, or him giving me something. And so this is the actual video of where we hang. So these are different clips. And I did this. I had it all set up where he's driving the car. I videotaped that, and then I'm sitting in the back, and we're talking. So if you want to play this has never been shown to anybody. So
look at old kook.
Maybe you could do it this way, Ross. Do it side. Yeah. So play the video.
Let me see if it'll
So
play.
it goes
Which part do you want me to play?
play them all if you want. They're only a couple. They're only like a minute of each or whatever. Hi, Robert. Fragrance Journey. Good to see
They're
you.
pretty short. Let me download everything.
Okay. If you don't want, if you don't think it's important, it's okay too.
No, it's fine. It's important to you. I mean, this is something that's very unique that only you have, you know? It's just taking a minute. Let me download it because I was hoping I could just share it to the computer, but it's not allowing it. It's going to take a minute to download.
EJ
So I'll revisit that in a minute while it downloads.
All right. EJ was a diamond.
I agree. I apologize for the long pauses. I hear the playback and then I talk. So that's why I have these long pauses in between.
Hey, Kareem, Jorge, everybody. Much love to everybody.
It's good to see all of you. I appreciate you guys coming out. We were going over some, just some of my feelings on some of the fragrances. I covered a few unreleased things that he gave me. Like one of the things that plays into the whole mad scientist thing. This is called EJ's frankincense. He just threw a bunch of oils together at the bottom of batches and made this random thing.
I never saw that. I told him to take the rosé because he did my he did the solids for me. And what is that?
This is Happyland Private Shocking Gold. It never came out. I've had this for 3 years.
And this
very
is
oud leather forward.
EJ is this. This is what you see right there. That's EJ. He would be like, "Oh, let me fix you something." Or if a customer said, "I like this, but can I have it a little stronger?" He would do it. Like he was. Oh my God, he is a diamond.
I think it was Kevin Hill that he loved Paisley Dreams, but wishes it was a little more feminine. And I think he made an iris version for his wife.
Awesome.
If I remember correctly, then he made a small batch for the public. Because he would bespoke a creation for you. If you really like something but wanted to tweak, he would do that.
Such an awesome guy.
Indeed.
It's times like this. Like
so I just keep thinking back to the Sundown relation.
I know.
Sorry that I keep interrupting him, guys. You got to remember, I hear him on a delay, and I talk after the delay.
It's okay. Did you think that did everything get downloaded yet? Hey, Frag dude.
Let's see.
Islands in the stream.
Yes. Failed to download. Lovely.
It's okay.
It failed to download. Maybe it's not meant to be.
Maybe EJ doesn't want it to be seen.
I'm sorry, guys.
It was just us talking. It was just us chatting away. So I'll let you get back to doing what you're doing, Ross. Thank you for having me. Much love to everybody. And much love to EJ.
George, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Love and light to everybody. I'll talk to you later, Ross.
Always. You're always welcome.
Thanks.
Bye, Georgie. George Zaharoff, ladies and gentlemen. This echo, this delay, I don't know what happened. There's some kind of update that changed it's only when I have a guest. I don't know what the hell. I mean, I don't need this anymore. So weird. So frustrating. I just don't know. I might have to stop using StreamYard and just go to YouTube, but then I don't know how I'm going to pull off having guests, or maybe I need to start dabbling in some of these other platforms because this is unacceptable. I'm not okay with that. That is not going to be okay moving forward. because it really takes away the experience for all parties involved, for me, for the guests, for you guys. So I'm gonna have to email them if they want to keep getting my $25 a month. This needs to be resolved, you know. So where was I? The last piece of work was sundown, when you went out and given everyone a piece of your soul. That's the definition of a true artist. Exactly, my man. That's the crazy thing, because like I didn't even think about it until George said it yesterday when we were on the phone. He's like, "Isn't his last release sundown?" I said, "Yeah, that was his last release." He's like, "How poetic and crazy is that?" It's like, yeah, no shit. It didn't even cross my mind. What's the odds? His last release is called Sundown, which he was starting to relate more and more to having his fragrances being inspired by some of his favorite albums and his favorite bands. He was really starting to tie his music into his creations. He had not peaked yet when it came to fragrance, basically. Miss EJ, Home for the Holidays is a masterpiece. I agree. That's my favorite Happyland fragrance. I didn't know him personally, but always hears good things about him. Picked up Home for the Holidays. Works out because I was looking for a holiday style scent. It's Christmas in a bottle to me. I only wear it in December. And I'm going to have to get another bottle, which good segue. Because I mean, I only wear it in December. This has been over a few Decembers. This little bit of a dent in this 30 ml. I mean, God knows how many Decembers it'll take me to go through this bottle, but I would like to get another 60 ml just in case. So I need to make an order. This is one that I don't have more of, and it's my favorite. It's so good. It's coffee, pot of coffee brewing with fresh waffles on the waffle iron, being pulled off the waffle iron, getting put in a plate with maple syrup being drizzled on them. That's what I smell. That has always been what I've smelled. I love this fragrance. This is my favorite coffee fragrance. Has been for years now. And it's my favorite from EJ. This is a Christmas fragrance and then some. Not just because the Happyland guy has a Santa hat on and there's mistletoe and stuff like that all over the place. This is my favorite creation EJ's ever put out. I mean, it's my favorite fragrance from EJ. You know, masterpiece. Totally agree. It is an absolute masterpiece. So with that said, we might as well look at the flanker, the decaf edition. So sweet fragrance lovers, rejoice, because this is a very sweet fragrance. Still have that maple accord, but the coffee is completely gone, hence the name decaf edition. Very, very sweet. It's a little bit more fruity. There's obviously a change in the way what's the word I'm looking for? Why am I drawing a blank? The formula. We'll just go with formula. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. I've been scatterbrained since yesterday. I really have. I've said it to my wife a couple times. I'm just scatterbrained right now. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Piece of you dies when someone close to you dies, right? Definitely the case. So with this, if you like sweet this is his sweetest fragrance, in my opinion. You have to like sweet. If you're not a fan of overly sweet fragrances, Home for the Holidays Decaf Edition is going to be a complete pass for you. Avoid at all costs. But it definitely has that gingerbread cookies, cinnamon apples, syrup, and waffles is still there from the first one. All of that. You're going to smell all of that. It's still a Christmas fragrance. It still gives the embodiment of Christmas time. It's still a December-only fragrance for me. Just super, super sweet. It's so much sweeter than pretty much everything else. And then one more, and we'll catch up on some more comments. But this seems to be a consensus favorite from a lot of people. This is Amberland. As the name would indicate, a very rich, warm, resinous, sticky amber. A little bit of spices. There's a nice woody backbone to this one, but a rich benzoin amber feeling to this one. So good. This one's a great fall scent. This is perfect for this time of year. The warmer ambers, you could call it what you want. Some are better for the winter because they're just such a heavy wear, and then some are better for the fall because they have a nice dose of spices to kind of counterbalance some of that warmth. I think this is a beautiful fall, autumn season fragrance. Yeah, it'll work fine in the winter, but it just screams fall time to me. I see oranges, reds, yellows, those type of colors and hues when I smell this. Again, very amber woody, but not loads of amber wood. Ambery, woodsy, a little sticky and resinous and sweet, but still quite spicy without being super fiery hot like loads of cinnamon or red peppers type of spice. It's really, really nice. This is a lot of people's one of their favorite. Some people's personal favorite, but this is a top 10 fragrance from the house for me personally. Let me get caught up on some of these comments. Lewis, good to see you. We'll catch the replay. Last night wearing Shameless. Much love, CGZ. My condolences. Sounds like an awesome and talented person. That is exactly who he was. Kind, loving soul, very loyal, very creative. Very creative. What's going on, Robert? Lost so many people in my life. That's why I tell you I love you, George. Hell yeah. Yeah, see, I know George answered that comment already. I'm behind on the comments, but just need some IT fixing. Yeah, because that's annoying. It's just all of a sudden in the last like 2 weeks of, because I don't have guests all that often. I do a lot of solo streams, especially because of the time of day that I stream, 3 o'clock Central during the week. Not ideal for everyone. Even viewers, not ideal for everyone. But it's ideal for me. So that's why I do it when I do it. But at the same time, it's kind of carved out as my block, basically. But I got to get that figured out. That's not going to work for me because I can't hear him. That's great that you guys can hear him, but I need to be able to hear him so we can converse back and forth. And then that way, that's a delay, and it really takes away from the experience of the flow of the conversation, you know? Memories made with talent, creating something that evokes memories or positivity, such as fragrances, is legacy work. Well said. Positivity, such as fragrances, legacy work. Something you have created is affecting people daily, even those around that person. Everybody hit that like button. That's really important right now. I appreciate that, Kevin. Thank you, man. We can hear him fine. Okay, wow, I'm very far back. Oh, no, I'm not, because here's later GZ, 2 comments later. Time to try some different software offline. Yeah, I'm going to have to, but I'm going to have to get a guest. I'll have to use George as a guinea pig, or I could just do it from my phone and have the two separate, have myself as a guest so I can get that figured out. That's what I'll do. Yeah, I got to get this figured out. No more delay. I'm numb to this. It's like YouTube. These videos are staying up as long as YouTube servers do, so I can still watch. Yeah. BFL, Carlos, when I want to remember his smile. I still watch Carlos's videos from time to time. Having a Neebs stream with Christian with Argos today. So it's definitely a StreamYard thing then, if it happened to Neeb as well. Maybe it's clearly not Christian. It just happened to Christian twice. But it's not Christian. It's just ironic that the time that Christian's going on live streams right now that it's happening. That's just irony because it happened with me with George today. So it's a StreamYard thing since it happened on Neeb's channel too, because we don't have the same equipment and the same computers and stuff like that. The common denominator is the software. So it's a StreamYard thing. It's deep. Let's see. The Boz. Good to see Boz. I saw you comment earlier too. DDLD. Let's see. Had no idea that was your favorite, but that's a hell of an endorsement. It is. It is. It's my favorite coffee fragrance. Anytime we talk coffee fragrances, I mention it. And it's my favorite from the house. It's just a warm, family-oriented feeling type of scent. Cozy, home for the holidays. You know, such a great name, a creative name. And the fragrance ties to it so perfectly. I don't think there's a more appropriately named fragrance on the planet. That's an opinion, but it's my opinion, damn it, and I'm sticking to it. I do like Geranibus. I don't have it featured here because if I was to just grab all the fragrances that I at least enjoy a little bit, it'd be even longer because we're an hour and 4 minutes so far. At 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more fragrances I want to talk about. I tried to limit it as much as I could because there's just so much good stuff to talk about from EJ, you know? Speaking of, The Challenge in Landish, his first collaboration with a band. I forgot the name of the band, but this is based off of the album cover of said band. This, I see Joe DDLD's here. Allison told him he's not allowed to wear this. My wife does not like it either. This is a challenging wear. It's super masculine. This is hanging out with the fellas, going drinking, to a cigar lounge, any of that stuff. This is that fragrance. And look, the fellas might not like the smell either. So it's a challenge. But if you like crazy, smoky, in your face, abrasive, kind of offensive fragrances, You should try Inlandish. Crazy masculine. Ashtray smoky. Yeah, this is that shit right here. I rated this one like 9 or 9.5 out of 10 because of the artistry behind it. Like, you gotta wear this confidently, or this son of a bitch is gonna wear you. And there might be somebody watching this right now. I think it's quite the easy wear. Well, you savage, good for you. Because this is something. This is a polarizing one, to say the least. I think that's kind of an understatement. But God, I have so much respect for this creation, because it reminds me of fragrances like Overture Man from Amouage, Leather Tobacco from Zaharoff, where they're real punchy, in your face, not an everyday wear, not for everybody, not for the weak fucks. Excuse my language. Weak fucks can't wear fragrances like this. And I don't mean physically weak. I mean just you just a weak fuck. You know? This is special is a really good word for it, because you have to wear this one with your chest out. Even if you wear it with a t-shirt, of course it begs you to dress it up a little bit more, Oxford, jeans and a belt buckle kind of thing. I mean, obviously you don't have to. I'm just trying to give you a visual aid for the style, kind of like think Bentley for Men Intense, but way more challenging, way more in your face, much higher quality, and way stronger. One spray is going to fill a room with this one. It's absurd. It's absurd. That's what's special about this one. It's not for everybody. It is for a smaller crowd. It's a niche within a niche that is going to get joy out of this, but it is highly respected art to me. That's why this one's so noteworthy, and I'm kind of going off the wall and cursing more and everything with what I have to say, and being a lot more vulgar about it, because the fragrance is kind of vulgar. It warrants that. It brings it out of me to describe it. I got to get on its level to talk about it. Not for everyone. Not a safe blind buy. Grab your nuts if you're going to buy this one. Nut up if you're going to try that one, because there's room for you to be very disappointed in your purchase, because you're like, ooh, I can't wear that. That's not for me. Just saying. Just saying. CJ Guy was a perfume. Yeah, he mixed his own fragrances. Yep, self-taught, which it's not really my place to discuss that relationship, but the brief thing I will say is that Hanny from Alexandria helped EJ get started on where to get his oils and stuff like that. It's not my place to talk about that relationship. If Hanny ever wants to have that conversation publicly, that's up to Hanny. But the reason I bring that up, where are they? Where the hell? Where did I put them? They're up here. Just where did I put them? Oh, here we go. So these are extremely special. Nobody has these except Hanny Hefes. Hanny probably has no clue that I have these. So reason being, EJ likes doing pure oil. So I have Hefes 1984 with a Happyland label, handwritten by EJ, pure oil. This is like a 3.5-year-old batch of pure oil of Hefes 1984. And it is much richer, because I have 2 bottles of Hefes 1984. I have a batch from around when this came out, and I have one of the newer blue bottles, the tall cylinder style bottles. I have a newer bottle of that. This is crazy, crazy strong. This will fill a room just around you. Like it really breathes when it gets on your skin, because it's very heavy. Resinous tobacco scent, smoky, a little bit of a boozy smell. Beautiful stuff. If you've ever smelled Hefes 1984, it's one of the best originals for sure, but one of the best from Alexandria. And this, God, it's so good. Wow, it's choking me out from that little bit of mist. But this is something he randomly shared with me. He was so excited about it. He just, like I said, Hanny probably has no idea that I have this. Lots of love to my man, Hanny. Hanny's a friend too. Hanny and Mohammed Hefes, Alexandria Fragrances, Sphinx Fragrances / Sphinx Beard. That's my guys. But this is a pure oil version of Hefes 1984. This is just one of those, nobody knows I have this kind of thing, which maybe I shouldn't show it. Maybe I should, but I just want to show you guys just the joy that fragrance brought EJ Wells. And this is my favorite Alexandria fragrance. It's a pure oil version of Hefes Gold. Again, another handwritten Happyland label, EJ's handwriting, Hefe's Gold. Pure oil. This is woodsy, leathery, a little bit of an oud smell. Super woodsy. This is my favorite. This is my favorite in the Hefe's line. This is my favorite Alexandria fragrance. The reason you guys never see anything about these is because I guess technically nobody's supposed to know I have them. And like I said, I hope Hanny doesn't get mad at me for showing this, because like I said, he probably has no clue that I have these. I've had them for years. So I don't do like full wearings unless, from time to time. I want to say this one maybe made an appearance once. I want to say I have shown them on the channel in the past. So I think we're okay. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I've shown them years ago. I have to go back and look. If I did a review on Hefe's 1984, it was from that bottle. So I know I did a few of the Hefe's line. I might have done them both. I don't know. I have to go back and look. But anyways, this is incredible. This is the best. If you haven't tried Hefe's Gold, any of the Hefe's line from Alexandria, you really should. Hefe Cigar, phenomenal. The newest one in the line, Intense, really good. But Gold is my favorite, and this is a pure oil version. There's no perfumer's alcohol here. This is straight oil. Probably toxic, honestly. I know with Mon, they limit George with certain concentrations because of certain oils and regulations, because they come toxic to the body at a certain point. These are pure oils. They might be toxic because there's no perfumer's alcohol. So, I've never had any skin issues when spraying them, but immensely powerful, guys. So good. So funky. Not bad funky, but funky, But again, the reason I'm showing these is he just got excited. Ooh, yeah, you need to try those, but you need the pure oils like this. This is the way to wear them. That was what he told me. That's why he sent me these with handwritten labels. So, because he's very close with Hanny. I'm sure Hanny's going through it right now because they were very close. Shout outs to Hanny Hefes. Really cool to see George, which reminds me, will there be a trilogy? There will not be. Not anytime soon. That is when this ends, which should be by the end of the year, we should be done with the second round, because we did make more at the beginning of the year. That's why we still have stock. We made more stock at the beginning of the year when they had the fragrance nomination. But I lost my train of thought. No, there won't be a 3.0. That's the end of it right now. It's a lot. It's a lot to do. It's a big expenditure and everything, and it's very time consuming. And George is literally, that's why he's been traveling so much. He's getting everything open in all these foreign markets. So that's kind of the focus for Zaharoff right now. Not saying never again, just not anytime soon. Not right now. I love Amberland. See, there you go. Amberland's the first fragrance I have from EJ. Explored it when I dove into amber as a fragrance note. It's quintessential amber because it's very forward with a sticky, resinous type of amber. A lot of benzoin. Let Diabolique macerate for a year, and man, it's spicy and heavy. Very relaxing. Wearing it tonight. Let's talk about that one. Diabolique. This is one of my favorites. I still say it's one of the best spicy fragrances I own. This is definitely one of his best creations. This is top 5 from the house for me. This is a must try if you like spicy. If you were wondering what I think you guys should try, if you want to just try something random. If you like spicy, creamy, woody spice, Diabolique. Now, look, I hate seeing devil stuff and all that. I'm a God-fearing man, and I'm not here for that. I'm not. But the fragrance shouldn't suffer because of the naming and the devil man. The fragrance is incredible. There's a creaminess. Like I said, it's got a balsamic feel, very resinous. Again, sticky, but pepper spiced, but not scratchy peppery spice. Strong too. And like he said, you let it macerate. This is sat for a long time, well over a year, and crazy, crazy, crazy strong. It's the only one I have in a larger bottle, but I will have samples of them all. See, there's some fans of Amberland. Yeah, it's a great house to support. Blue Fire is one of my favorite freshy fragrances. The strawberry note smells natural. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Duncan. We are on the same wavelength. It smells like biting into an actual strawberry. It's not that synthetic, like candy strawberry, like strawberry candies. Think of all the different things that have that artificial strawberry. No, yeah, exactly. Not like bubble gum. I'm totally with you on that, Duncan. Haha, it's true. I sprayed in Landis once and it blew the whole kitchen out. I remember your story. That's why I figured I'd share. It's not for the faint of heart. This one, it applies to this one. It applies to Inlandish for sure. Inlandish is a smoke bomb. My wife kicked me out of the house. Yeah, the same. None of the wives like this, from what I've gathered. You're just adding to the total, basically. LOL, weak fucks. It's the truth. It's not a fragrance for bitch boys. You know, I'm buying that one, Ross. It's a ballsy play to wear Inlandish. It really is. All the current fragrances, 32 fragrances to explore and help the family during this time. If you ever tried Happyland, head over. I appreciate that, Spencer. I'm sure Susan would appreciate that. Very excited. Hopefully some of you can hit the website and show love. Inlandish will be hair on your nuts. Yeah, for sure. Lance, what's going on, my man? Welcome to the channel membership. Good to see you. TLTG All-Star. So you're eligible for the bottle of, which that came in today, but the bottle, the first prize giveaway is a 100 ml bottle of Invictus Victory Elixir. Second prize, we're going to do another bottle of F La Parfum. That seems to be a hit here on the channel with you guys. So we're going to do that again this month for the second spin. Third spin, mystery box full of samples. We got Argos samples. We've got, what else we got here? We got Chrome Parfum. We got Ralph's Club Parfum. And I got a bunch more on top of that. So we got a bunch of carded samples for a mystery box for the third spin. So you're eligible for all three of those spins, Lance. 5 recommendations from the house for a first-time user. So this is where it gets interesting, I would say, and we're going to segue right into this. If you want safe, these are the two safest, the two freshest. This is Shameless and Haymaker. Shameless is kind of like his Aventus. You'll smell a little bit of Aventus in the top, but it's more of a bitter orange, black currant tart, and then it's got a soapy aromatic, dries into an aquatic ambergris type of smell with a lot of vanilla. It's very much a blue fragrance. This is the blue fragrance from Happyland. That's why I love it. Don't let the orange label fool you. This is a blue fragrance. Dropped my bottle a while back. Let me change the focus so you guys can see the battle wound. That shot that chipped glass. It took a shot. So get that 30. This was my favorite when it came out, but it's like I can't lie to myself. Om for the Holidays is my favorite. It really is. If I could only save one, I got to save Om for the Holidays. But this is such a close second because it's the blue fragrance from EJ. It's the freshest fragrance from EJ besides Haymaker, which was part of the last pair of releases. So Sundown was his last release. Haymaker and Roundhouse were the two previous. This is kind of like Louis Vuitton's L'Immensité, as I've been told that's the proper way to pronounce it. Lemon, bergamot, lime kind of smell. A lot of ginger, loads of ginger, citrus, crisp, fresh and spicy. Gotta like ginger. Mouth-watering, rich, even a little sweet the way the citrus comes across. This is beautiful. Again, these are safe plays, freshies with the depth and performance from EJ. Shameless and Haymaker. I wanted to talk about them together. I stacked them together for a reason, and you gave me the perfect opportunity to. I appreciate the easy segue. Because I would encourage you to try these two as some safe plays. Then, if you want the ultimate Christmas fragrance, Om for the Holidays. Where is it? Let me find it. Where'd it go? I put my hands on so many fragrances at this point. So those two. Not that, not that, not that. Where'd it go? I just had it. We were just talking. Oh, it's right here. Pfft, stupid Diabolique. I'm looking around. It's right in front of me by the mouse. This. I don't know how you feel about spicy and creamy woods, but this is the top 5 from the house for me. I would encourage you to check this one out if you like spicy. Just know it's a creamy, balmy, spicy fragrance. It's not your run-of-the-mill, like a spice bomb kind of thing. But this is incredible from him. So those 3. The next one I wanted to talk about, perfect segue, Wonderland. Kind of like his take on Beach Hut Man from Amouage. Minty green, like green mint leaf type of smell. Green notes accord. Oak moss galbanum. A lot of earthy greens, but still fresh. Crazy potent. Year-round type of wear easy on the sprays in the summer. It's his take on Beach Hut Man. It's not a direct clone, but you can tell that's what inspired him. It definitely is very similar to Beach Hut Man. I guess he was in love with Beach Hut Man when he decided to make this one. Very much a great option. And then if you want what I believe to be one of the best boozy fragrances on the market, Cripple Creek. Cripple Creek. These last couple, your question was perfect for me to talk about the last ones I wanted to talk about, because it's literally the 5 I would recommend. I saved them for last. Thank you for that, Esteban. But Cripple Creek is a bourbon bomb, an absolute bourbon bomb. Malpaso, Bad Time Charlie. There's a bunch of really, really good stuff from the house. Like I said, everybody's going to have a different top 5 and top 10 from the house. Some things will overlap, but for me, if you like boozy, this is creamy, sweet, not super sweet, barrel of bourbon. Yeah, I said it just like that because that's how it smells. It's that hefty bourbon barrel smell. Beautiful fragrance. Absolutely beautiful. That's the 5, in my opinion, that you should check out. They're not crazy challenging. They're not super mass appealing. They're not boring. They have some depth. They perform. And it's quite the versatile wardrobe just in that 5. Indeed. But his question was literally perfect timing for the 5. That's what I was going to say. If you're going to try 5, here's the 5 I would recommend. And he asked it right when I got to the last 5. That was meant to be. Thank you, Esteban. And I hope if you go that route, you love them all. I hope. I can only hope. I won't know unless you let me know. So they do. They have a lot of fragrances to choose from. Without you, Ross, I would have never heard of Happyland, so thank you. I've been with EJ for a long time. Happyland's been around longer than TLTG Reviews, the channel, the social media, just presence in general has been around. And look, I'll be honest with you, he was a little skeptical at first. Because the first time I checked out any of his fragrances, he had sent George his collection, and George took it upon himself to send it out to let people review it. Like he sent it to me. I sent it to Robert, Fragrance Journey. That's why I sent it to Robert for him to check them out next. It was like the first 7 fragrances so we could all get our nose on it. And EJ ended up taking a liking to me. And it evolved to this point to where he became one of my dearest friends, especially in the fragrance community, confidant for me. And he's just such a kind man that I wish more people in this community had the opportunity to get to know. He was pretty private, as you could tell, for the most part. But man, think of all the ways to describe a great guy. Fill in the blank, and that's him. That's EJ. That's EJ. But you got to add the word creativity somewhere in there. He's a very creative mind. On for the holidays, always my Christmas scent. Same. Diabolique is a beast. I wore it so much in the fall that I can spray it any other time of the year, and I'm mentally transported. That's fair. It's great for this time of year. Absolutely great for this time of year. Got to run both kiddos home now. Really enjoyed hearing some new things about EJ and Happyland that I never heard before. Be well, everyone. St. Dragon, good to see you, my man. Thanks for coming. Just tuned in. What's happening, Ross? Sorry to hear about your good friend. Sounds like a great dude. I'm interested in trying barbershop. You can't go wrong there. So the only reason I didn't recommend that in the 5 is not everybody's a fan of a rich leather accord. That's a certain guys really love the barbershop style. That's who I would really encourage to try it, because it's not run-of-the-mill barbershop. It doesn't smell like I can't tell you another barbershop fragrance that smells like Happyland Barbershop. I'm not saying one doesn't exist. I just haven't tried it. And it's not far off the beaten path. Like it's some brand new take on it. It's just a reimagining in EJ Wells's mind of what he feels a barbershop fragrance should be. And it's one of his most popular, best creations he's ever made. You just got to be into leather and barbershop, basically. I love Haymaker so much. I'd say Homeland 2 seems safe to me. You got to like aromatic classic fougères, like Creed Bois de Portugal style. I took Shameless to Florida once. It was sealed in a Ziploc bag in my luggage, but I guess the altitude pressure on the plane, yeah, it'll do that. Caused it to leak. My luggage in the hotel room smelled great the whole week. I bet. Well, it kind of limited your choices unless you wanted to layer. You're pretty much wearing Shameless that week. Michael Gassaway, my favorite IFBB Pro. Good to see you, my man. So many great fragrances in the house. Now that the weather's starting to cool down, I'm going to have to move Signature Gold to the short list to pick up soon. Yeah, fall, winter, and early spring are definitely Happyland studio seasons. because majority of EJ's fragrances are, I guess you could say, heavier. Is how we'll term that. If you wear Cripple Creek and get pulled over for speeding, get ready to walk a straight line and say alphabet backwards. Yeah, barrel of bourbon. Exactly. You will smell like you've been boozing. No doubt about that. Let's see. I got Haymaker on the way. Thanks to you, Ross. Scent of the day, Creed Aventus Cologne. It's good stuff. It's kind of moved up to like number 2 from Creed for me. I love it. Number 1's Viking, by the way, because somebody's going to ask. I love Beach Hut Man, but full bottle of any Amouage may be out of question for now. Wonderland may just get me there. It will. It will satisfy you. It's pretty damn close. Like, it's out in the air. I'd be surprised. It's like damn near a clone, which he gets inspired by stuff, but that one's closer to what it smells like than any other fragrance he's ever put out. Because some people say he's a clone house, and fragrances like that, I could see why they say that. But he's got just as many original creations or things that kind of inspired him, and he kind of made his twist on it. So there's kind of a mixed bag when it comes to that. But fragrances like this is where I can say, yeah, I understand why they say that. But as a whole, the house, no, it's not a clone house. I want to make sure everybody understands that. It's not. But he has some that you swear, if that's the only one you smell, you'd be like, oh, he just makes clones then, huh? Wonderland is that fragrance, I think. That's the only one that would clear as day was like, ooh, that's this, you know? I've never tried that one, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Does it have the same notes? It's been so long since I did the video on it. I don't remember the notes. Aside from the bourbon and the wood smell. Why? I didn't mean to go there. Happyland Fragrances. Let's go take a look at the notes real quick. Might as well do a screen share, right? There we go. Let's see. Bad Time Charlie. Airland, Hinterland, Barbershop. Oh. Where'd it go? They still have stock? Uh-oh. They might be in good shape. They still have a stock. So any of you wet shavers, apparently it comes with a brush too. Yep. The brush, the soap, and the aftershave. Any of you familiar with Strike Gold's products? It's Strike Gold. It's Frank's stuff with EJ's oil. Incredible. For $39, incredible. I have both versions. That's the newest version, and I have the old original version. Both were made by Frank with Strike Gold Shave. Phenomenal lathering experience for you wet shavers. A lot of leather. If you like leather, that's the way to go. I didn't think they had me in stock. I had to highlight that when it caught my eye. So let's see. Let me scroll down and find. So they have the solids and everything, which I don't really wear the solids. I have just about all of this. I might have all of the solids, actually. Cripple Creek. Here we go. Let's take a look at the notes. Let's see. Over and over again. Bourbon, Ambrette Oak, Amber Musk, Caramel, Ambergris Rum, and a dash of lime and rose. And then if we look at Baronda, does not say. So you know what that means, unfortunately. Whoops. See if they have the notes here. Woody whiskey, whiskey wood, Ambrette rose, and Brox and musk. So it must be similar. It's got some similar notes. This has a few more things going besides that, such as the caramel and rum, dash of lime. So there's some differences, but that seems like the inspiration to me. You know, sure seems like a pretty similar note breakdown for the most part. Prices are hella nice. And look, they're powerful, man. These fragrances last a long time. You don't need much. Please don't overspray these fragrances. You can choke yourself out, and your wife's going, as you see by a few comments so far from people with experience, your wife's going to kick you out and say, get out of here till it wears off. Doesn't smell like anything I put to my nose. Like them or not, they are very unique. They are bold. That's a good word. 61 degrees tonight. Wearing Synthetic Jungle by Frederick Malle. True Religion Original Good. It's decent. It's nothing special. It's very early, mid 2000s, 2010 range, like Ed Hardy era, when True Religion was at its peak for popularity, that style, the Jersey Shore era, you know. It smells like something you would wear with a good, nice pair of jeans, you know. It's not special. It's okay. I like it. I like it for the nostalgia factor of that time in my life, just like with the Ed Hardy fragrances and Christian Audigier and stuff like that. For that timeline, I like it, but it's nothing special that's like must pick up. Even for $20, it's not a must pick up. I was smelling Signature Gold last night from the first run. Smelled better than I remembered. Thought it reminded me more of a Wajan, but Calmet Black was coming more to mind yesterday. No, not quite. They're different because you have a lot of that corn mash that gives you the sweetness in Copper Still 51. They're obviously both bourbon fragrances, but they're not the same bourbon fragrance. Definitely not. They have their differences just as much. Sounds good. I'm a wet shave. You would like it. You would like it. It's the only one that EJ ever felt needed a shave set. It's the only one they ever did. They did it twice. They did it back in 2020, and then they did it again in 2022. And apparently there's still some stock. So any wet shavers, it's that jam. I used last week, week before, one of the last 2 or 3 weekly rotation videos. It was in there. I gave myself a half a spray of the fragrance. It's more than enough with the splash because it's the same oil in there. And then I lathered up the soap. It's good stuff. Let me know for sure. Jason, good to see you, my man. I only heard of EJ and the brand from streams, but his impact on the community is undeniable. Thanks for sharing your stories. Plan to spend some time exploring the fragrances. I'm glad to hear that, Jason. Thank you for stopping by, my man. So, guys, we covered all of the fragrances I wanted to cover. There's a lot more, actually, than what's available here, than what I showed today. That's just like personal favorites of mine with a few little stories and tidbits of, some unreleased stuff like Shocking Gold for the private line that never saw the light of day, the frankincense, some pure oil, Hefe's line, Alexandria stuff that he gave me. And like I said, all the niche fragrances I've gotten to try over the years from decants he's given me, full bottles he sent my way. Like I said, Fig Man, I got that from him, Carmen Barcelona, because he didn't like it. It was my favorite fig fragrance for a while, and then Bentley Vetiver, he didn't care for that one either. He was just such a passionate person about fragrance and music. Obviously, he was a musician. He was a professional musician for years and years. And man, what a bright light. What a bright light that man was. So I encourage you guys to check out the house, whether you buy a bottle of either size, whether you buy a shave set, whether you buy one sample, one decant. Try something. If anything sounds interesting to you, don't feel like you have to. Only grab something if it seems like something you'd like, because obviously all the proceeds will go to help the household with his wife, Susan. Again, nothing of this. I don't make $1 from the link, the code, or anything like that. I've had that code for years. There's only a few people he made a code for, and it was, people that had a loyal viewership for Happyland that were basically the regulars is who he made the codes for. There's only like 5 Happyland codes, I think, that exist, even 5 or 6, maybe. So by all means, use it. It's there to be used. And like I said, it helps support the household during this time of need. EJ Wells, may you rest in peace, my friend. We lost a wonderful human being, even outside of the world of fragrance. Of course, we lost a brilliant mind when it came to independent perfumery. Great guitarist, kooky old, wild old man. That son of a bitch was a kooky old quack, and I loved everything about it. And I got that from him. That's what he called himself, a kooky old quack. May EJ rest in peace. Thank you all for hanging out with me and sparing your ear to hear a few things about some of his creations and some of, some random stories, and hear a little bit from George. Thank you, George, for jumping on. And for those of you that do end up getting something from Happyland, I hope you really enjoy what you get. Definitely let me know. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll shut it down till tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow's live stream will be, but it'll be something. Maybe we'll finally do the Bond fragrances from what Omar sent me. I might just do a Q&A because it's kind of a heavy topic today. I was cheerful for the most part, but I have my moments. Like right now, it's kind of downer, but we'll probably just do a live Q&A tomorrow, guys. But I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Have a good one.